Hi children, good morning. Welcome back to our session. So the topic is sources of energy. Is it? Yes. So we have learned many things about the renewable sources of energy, non-renewable sources of energy, and in that ocean energy, tidal energy, waves energy, geothermal energy, and in the last class we have seen about the nuclear energy. Is it? And we came to the last of our topic, that is nothing but environmental consequences. So what do you mean by the environmental consequences? All energy sources have some impact on our environment. Like the fossil fuels like coal, oil and natural gas do substantially more harm than renewable energy sources by most the measures, including air and water pollution, damage to the public health, wildlife and habitat loss, water use, land use and global warming emissions. That means these are all the impact. That means all the energy sources have some impact on our environment. Yes, nowadays we are seeing that land pollution is there, soil pollution is there, water pollution is there. Is it? Yes, for that we are going to do some other precautions to avoid these and all things. So these are the things we can see our environmental consequences. And here one question arises, children. What is that? How long will an energy source last us? So if you take any source of the energy, how much time it is going to take? For example, if you use one cylinder in your house, how much time it is going to come? 6 months? 1 year? We cannot say. So by using of that source, it is going to come for us. Is it? So one cylinder for any function, if we are going to use for one day, it is going to finish. In a house, more than 10 members are there, means approximately 1 month it is going to come. That too, we have to see that usage of that energy. Is it? Yes. So, if you take the electricity, current bill, how much it will come? In my house, 1000 rupees. Why 1000 rupees? Most of all the gadgets we are using. TV is there, washing machine, TV continuously it is going on, grinder is there, motor is there, iron box is there. So we are using the so many gadgets. So like that it is going to come. That means if you are consuming and using that thing, means maybe we can use for a little time. So we are not consuming, means it takes very shortest time. Is it? Yes. So fossil fuels will get depleted some days, as these are exhaustible sources. So fossil fuels are exhaustible sources, and if you want to get, it takes million years of time also. So it has been estimated that coal will last for another 200 years. Now only we cannot say, have you seen the children, coal means coal? What ma'am? Oh, if you fire the firewood, it is going to give the coal. You are going to assuming that, but really nowadays we are not saying, because all we are using the LPG gas cylinders or the biogas. Instead of that we are using. Is it? Yes. So for that purpose only, at least we can see the trees, somewhat of the trees. If there is no other source instead of the wood, what we will do? We will cut off the trees. Is it? So that's why we are telling that after 200 years the coal will be exhaustible. Whereas known as the reservoirs of petroleum for after 16 years. Petroleum means we are going to get petrol, diesel, gasoline, kerosene. These and all also will be exhaustible. That means which we are not going to get it. If you want to take, once again, it takes many years, lot of time, 60 years, and those of natural gas for about 40 years. This natural gas also will be exhaustible. So for that, what we have to do? We have to go for the further sources, which it is coming for us naturally. That is nothing but the solar energy or the wind energy or thermal energy. Like these energies we have to depend it. So what we are having the energy sources, as soon as it will be exhaust. So this is our today's class, today's session, that is the environmental consequences. So by this our source of energy chapter we have finished, and let we have a small video regarding this chapter. Okay, thank you very much. Environmental consequences. Using any source of energy affects the environment around us. So here we can see the factories that it is releasing the harmful gases. It's nothing but pollution. Renewable sources of energy last longer. Non-renewable energy sources run out. Be judicious is in the use of energy. So of energy. What do you mean by energy? Energy can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. Here we are having the few examples. Types of energy: renewable energy, non-renewable energy. Renewable energy can be generated continuously, practically without decay of source. For example, solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, hydro energy, biomass energy. What do you mean by solar energy? Solar energy, radiant light and heat from the sun, has been harnessed by humans using various equipments. Solar powered electrical generation on heat engines and photovoltaics. Example: solar cooker, solar heater, solar cells. What are the advantages of this? Solar energy does not produce carbon dioxide. It has minimal impact on environment. Disadvantages: it is not constant. It depends on weather conditions, time, locations. If there is no sun, the solar energy, it doesn't works. Next, wind energy. Wind energy generated by wind turbines is mainly used to generate electricity. Advantages: wind turbines, often called windmills, do not release emissions that pollutes the air or water. Disadvantages: installation, maintenance cost is very high. Only few places are there in the world where wind blow continuously throughout the year. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is heat from within the earth. We can recover this heat as steam or hot water and use it to heat buildings or generate electricity. Examples: spot things, the springs, fumaroles, geysers. Advantages: carbon dioxide emission levels are very low. They releases less than 1% of the carbon dioxide. Disadvantages: installation cost is very high, releases various kind of harmful gases. Hydro energy. Hydro energy is generally generated from running water using various mechanical methods. Example: dams, tidal and ocean thermal energy. Advantages: produces very less amount of carbon dioxide. It is also being used to control flood and for irrigation purpose. Disadvantages: natural environment is destroyed. Biomass. Biomass is organic material made from plants and animals. When burned, the chemical energy in biomass is released as heat. Example: methanol, ethanol, biodiesel. Advantages: equipment, installation cost is less. Helps in garbage reduction. Disadvantages: biomass, high amount of sulfurous gases. That means it is releasing that gas. Non-renewable energy. Now we have seen the renewable energies. Now let we go for What do you mean by the non-renewable energy? Non-renewable energy cannot be generated again and again from the same source. Example, petroleum products, coal, uranium. Petroleum. Petroleum was formed from the remains of animals and plants that lived millions of years age in a marine environment before the dinosaurs. Over millions of years, the remains of these animals and plants were covered by layers of sand and silt. Heat and pressure from these layers helped the remains turn into what we today call, that is nothing but crude oil. Disadvantages: responsible of 30% of carbon dioxide in the environment. Coal. Coal is a combustible black or brownish black sedimentary rock composed mostly of carbon and hydrocarbons. For millions of years, a layer of dead plants at the bottom of the swamps was covered by layers of water and dirt, trapping the energy of the dead plants. The heat and pressure from the top layers helped the plant remain turn into what we today call coal. Disadvantages: responsible of 57% of carbon dioxide in the air. Uranium. It's the radioactive element. Nuclear energy is energy in the nucleus of an uranium-235 atom. It can be released from atoms in two ways: nuclear fusion, nuclear fission. Advantages: even a small amount can release through energy of light up thousands of energy for months. Disadvantages: after using the nuclear reactor, then also the radioactive substances is very dangerous for the human. Differences between the renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. So, renewable sources energy can be generated continuously, practically without decay of source. Non-renewable cannot be generated continuously without decay of source. Responsible for 3 to 4% of carbon dioxide in environment. Responsible for 91 to 94% of carbon dioxide in environment. Not a reason behind global warming. Main reason behind global warming. Examples for the renewable: biomass, hydropower, wind energy, solar energy, etc. Examples for non-renewable source: petroleum products, coal, uranium, etc. So we have to conserve our environment. That means energy conservation. So save energy and save the world. Thank you.